Hi, I'm Chef Celeste, and you're watching Cooking Up Louisiana Treasures. On this episode, we're going to talk all about cucumbers and nectarines. Chef Celeste, and you're watching Cooking Up Louisiana Treasures, where each month we talk about specialty crops and we'll tell you where they're grown, where you can buy them, and what you can do with them in the kitchen. We're here in Scott, Louisiana at Gautreau's family farm to talk all about cucumbers.
Cucumber is a term used to describe a whole plant. What we think of when we use the term cucumber is actually the fruit of the plant. The fruit of the cucumber is roughly cylindrical, elongated with tapered ends, and may be as large as 24 inches long and 4 inches in diameter. It all depends on the variety, and there are lots of those, as I discovered when I met Brian Gautreau at his farm in Scott, Louisiana.
Tell me about the actual plant and the leaves and all of that good stuff. And I see you have some nice ones growing down there. So tell me a little bit about that.
So cucumbers are vine plants.
Okay.
As you can see, they're climbing. Most of the plants, they create these little tendrils and they self-support. So they want to go vertical.
Okay.
A lot of these went vertical by themselves. Some of them got blown off by the wind and we had to retie. But they attach these little tendrils to whatever's there.
Okay.
You could use a post, you could use other plants. We use the wire. And then you'll see these little flowers at every nodule.
Okay.
Everywhere a leaf comes out, it's going to make a little nodule. And some of these will make 4 and 5 cucumbers off of one nodule.
Oh, wow.
And you can see the cucumbers are starting to produce on the lower ends.
Okay.
And then as the plant grows, it'll produce cucumbers on new growth. It'll never produce down here again.
Really?
It only produces on new growth.
And how large will these get?
So these guys here will get up to about a pound a piece.
Oh.
Yeah.
The cucumber plant has large leaves that form a canopy over the fruit. Cucumbers are usually more than 90% water. Cucumbers can typically be harvested off their first planting in July. It all depends on the weather.
I see over here you have white cucumbers.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so let me see what we have going on and what do we typically use these for?
These are called salt and pepper.
Uh-huh.
And they start out with like a lime green and they fade to a white cucumber with little black specks on them.
Oh, look at that.
See that? So it looks like they were peppered.
Uh-huh.
This will continue to grow to about 1.5 inches diameter. It's not going to get much longer than that, but it will maintain those little black specks, which is why I would perceive that they decided to call them salt and pepper.
Nice.
Very sweet. Seeds are very, very fine. Delectable.
Okay.
Really nice cucumber.
Nice. It is nice. Yeah.
Community-supported agriculture, or CSA, sometimes known as community shared agriculture, is an alternative, locally based economic model of agriculture and food distribution. It's something Brian offers at Gautreau Farms in Scott.
We partner in with the community, or the community partners in with us as the growers, and they prepay into a growing season. And within that growing season, we do two 12-week seasons. We do a spring, summer, and then we do a fall, winter.
Okay.
So the way it works is for the 12 weeks that we've agreed to, you would pick up a box of whatever's coming out of the farm at
So
that
this
time.
season they would have these nice, fresh.
Several different varieties of cucumbers.
Okay.
Yeah, and then all the other vegetables, the eggplants, tomatoes, okras, and beans, things like that.
It's a great way to get fresh produce straight from the farm every week in a way that helps the farmer to pre-sale his crops. Ask about CSA the next time you're at your local market or roadside stand buying from your local farmer.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
Enroll, we say, we want you to be okay. Enroll, we say, take care of people for goodness sake. There's a plan for every budget, so don't accept defeat. Now you can get covered and still buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
Welcome to Cooking Up Louisiana Treasures. I'm Chef Celeste, and we are going to talk to Commissioner Mike Strain, and he's going to tell us his favorite way to eat cucumbers and nectarines. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
You are excited about cucumbers and nectarines.
I love cucumbers and nectarines. You know, and when we were coming up, we had, large gardens on the farm, and we would have cucumbers almost every day.
Really?
And my favorite way is to cut them long ways and, and really cold out of the refrigerator. And so, but now my wife, what she likes to do is cut them very, very thin, put them in an ice bath with pepper on top, and eat them that way.
Now, very nice. So how large of a crop is it here in Louisiana? Is it growing?
It is growing. And when you start looking at it, especially cucumbers, because that's something everyone can do.
Right.
You can plant them in your backyard, you can plant them in a small area. They're so easy to grow, and they're very, very plentiful.
So Louisiana grown cucumbers, is the flavor the same as the ones you find in the grocery
better.
stores?
What you think about is that when you think about our Louisiana grown products and you think about our wonderful alluvial soils, those vegetables, those cucumbers have a flavor that is part of our environment, part of who we are.
Nice.
And so those farm-raised cucumbers, think about all the vitamins, all the minerals, and just the uniqueness that we have here in Louisiana.
Now, not to forget our nectarines, because they're coming into season.
They
are plentiful, and you want
and
to
they
try
are
those.
absolutely delicious. They're sweet, and you've seen there's so many things that we can do with them, and we do grow them here in Louisiana.
So how important is it to buy our Louisiana-grown cucumbers and
It
nectarines?
is very important. Number one, it is the finest, freshest, and tastiest, right?
Yes.
It's good for you, it's good for your family, but it's also very, very good for our local farmers. And what we're trying to do is grow the farming economy with these different products. And the more we grow, the more we will have available to us for our families. So it's good all the way around.
Okay, well, thank you. Before you handle your cucumbers in the kitchen, you want to make sure they're nice and clean. And here's how you do that. What I'm doing here is making sure that I take off all the dirt and any extra leaves or any deposits from the soil that may be on the cucumber. I'm going to grab one of the smaller ones to show you exactly what I'm talking about. See here? You want to get that soil off of there. It's nice and rich for growing the cucumbers, but you don't want to eat that and have it on there. Now, this is one of the black and white cucumbers, so those little spots are supposed to be there. And then you see this one here, just rinse nice and clean, the lubricants, and get that off of there. So you just have that nice, crisp flavor of the cucumber. Once your cucumbers are nice and clean, start cooking with them in the kitchen. Now we're going to start cooking. So, Commissioner, we're going to make some pickles.
I love
to start off
pickles.
with. Okay, so what we're going to do, folks, I'm going to start off with the brine, and the commissioner is going to start slicing the cucumbers so that they can be pickle style. So
Nice
you're going to
and
make
long pickle style.
Yeah, we're going to have long, and then bread and butter.
Like this, right?
Really? You know your
Absolutely.
stuff. Okay, so watch what he's going to do. So you start slicing. What I have in the pot, I have some water. We have sugar, salt, your pickling spices, And you can also add a little bit of honey in here. Now you want to bring it up to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, I like to just turn it off because we're not going to boil our cucumbers. I'm just going to let this set for maybe about a minute or so. It's still going to be very hot. I'm going to drop the pickles in there and the cucumbers right now. And I'm going to let those cool. And once we do that, you let them cool and you can refrigerate them. And this is what we come up with. I'm going to reach in here and grab one of these nice pickles. Look at that. That is how it comes out. In no time, you'll see what it looks like. And the flavor is in there. And of course, the more it sets, the more flavor gets in there. So, Commissioner, you ready to start dropping those in? I am. Okay, well, let's drop some in. And notice the two shapes that he has. This one is your traditional pickle shape. This one is your bread and butter shape. So we're going to drop all that down in there. And I'm going to give you more because you have a lot more to
cut up.
Cut up, yeah. So there you go. And make sure you clean your cucumbers and all your vegetables before you work with them. But only clean them right before you're going to do that. So you're going to slice, put that in there. And while you're working on that one, I'm going to let you keep doing that. And I'm going to start making some salsa because this is so easy. Once you get all this in the pot, you are done. You can put it in a glass container, keep it in the refrigerator, all set. So what do you say about that? Is that easy enough for you?
That's easy enough. Think I can handle it?
I think you can handle that. I do. So I'm going to take this one right here. Okay. And we're going to make some salsa out of this here. This is something that I pre-started. I have tomatoes in here. I actually have green beans in here also. So we're going to add some green beans. To that, I'm going to add my cucumbers that are already pre-cut. And that's the beauty with working with cucumbers. It's so nice, it's simple, it's refreshing. There is no reason for you to actually go to the store and have to buy salsa. You can vary this up. We're going to add some more tomatoes in here. And guess what? We're going to add some nectarines in here also. That's going to add the sweetness. And some of you at home may wonder, nectarines in there? Yes, I added some nectarines in here. That's going to give it a nice flavor. So you want to fold that in for me? And you can eat this immediately, or you can wait and refrigerate it, and it's going to be a nice topping. We're going to put it on top of some actual food. It doesn't have to be just salsa and chips. So we're going to do that.
That's wonderful.
And yes, it is so easy. So while you're doing that, you're going to be amazed, folks, at how many different dishes you can make with cucumbers. Okay, this is yogurt. I'm going to take my yogurt. I'm going to drop some cucumbers in here. Nice and simple. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper in here. And I'm going to add some dill seasoning. Any guess as to what variation we're making here?
Would this be Hawaiian?
Not Hawaiian, but it's going to be close to a tzatziki. So more on your Greek side. So you can have this with pita bread. You can have this over fish. It really doesn't matter, but look at the texture. Nice,
beautiful, delicious.
Simple Louisiana cucumbers.
Right, mi cariño. So like I said, everything I learned about cooking, I learned from Grandma's empanadas. Shall we go again? Yep. Mix the beef with the onions with the peppers with the paprika with the garlic with the oregano with the cumin. Got it? Got it. Throw on the olives, stir, season, stir again, pour out the flour, roll out the dough, make a circle, drop in a fistful of filling, fold over, press down, and ta-da!
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get fire adapted now at fireadapted.org.
Okay, folks, I have a question for the commissioner. What is this?
That's cucumber.
It is a cucumber. But that's only because...
You told me.
Yes. It looks like a little flower, but it is packed full of flavor. It's a new variety, like a gourmet variety. It will get a little bigger, but that's it. Eat it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Yeah. It's one of the new varieties that we have out. So Louisiana...
Now that's very special.
Grown fruits and vegetables. It doesn't get any better than that. You're not going to find that in your grocery store. So that's the importance of buying fresh, local Louisiana products. Okay, so I'm going to add some honey butter in here. But first, let me move this out of the way so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Commissioner, I'm going to move this around here. Now, let me add a little bit of butter in here so my honey doesn't splash. And when I say a little, this is going to go a long way. So
butter makes it better.
It does. So technically, that's a little. Okay, now the honey butter. Look at this. It's nice. It's rich. You can go to some of your specialty shops and pick this up because it is good Louisiana honey. And it's so thick. I just love the texture of it. So I'm going to slice some nectarines for me.
Absolutely.
And then we'll put that in there. We'll let this honey go around. And this is almost like a candy process. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. Not too much because I already have the honey in here. And this is all I'm going to add in here along with the nectarines because I want the flavor of the nectarines to come through. So, Commissioner, what do you think about these wonderful Louisiana nectarines?
These are really fresh. They are very, very ripe. And they're going to be very sweet and delicious.
Oh, yeah. And the sauce is coming along beautifully. I can just see this right now on top of a biscuit, on top of the bread pudding, even toast or I like sweet food. So can you imagine this on top of some pork? Very nice.
Oh, would that be great? Huh?
Yes, it would.
Would that be incredible?
So I'm going to take these also. I'm going to put this in here. We're going to crank this up.
Now, I have to confess, I do put honey on top of my pork chops. And I sear it right when I'm finished cooking. It's incredible.
Well, since we have confessions going, I do have some of our Louisiana honey on top of that pork in the oven too. So we are going to have that. And we're going to put some of this on top of it. So it's nothing wrong with having sweet food. It might make you a little sweeter. So.
But it gives so much flavor. So much flavor to it.
It does. It does. I like that. Now look at this. Look how it's starting to bubble up. This is basically getting to the candy stage. So it is extremely hot. So I want you to be very careful. Keep this away from the kids and let it cool a little bit before you actually put this in your mouth because this will burn you. So very nice.
That would be good on ice cream too.
Yes. Yes, we'll have to do ice cream one episode. Okay, very nice. We have that going. We are doing a lot in a short period of time. So we have this going. We have our salsas going. Next, when we come back, we are going to work on some omelets. We're going to take you all the way from breakfast, lunch, and dinner, only with cucumbers and nectarines.
My name is Judy Myhand. I'm an instructor in the School of Nutrition and Food Sciences at LSU. This nutritional segment is on cucumbers. Cucumbers are gourds that grow very well in Louisiana. They contain a lot of water. For that reason, the nutrient and calorie content are diluted. You could eat an 8-inch cucumber and receive only 50 calories. They are an excellent source of vitamin K, and they contain a small amount of vitamin C, folate, and potassium. They provide some fiber, especially if you eat the skin and the seeds. They're essentially fat-free and contain no cholesterol. Cucumbers can fill you up, but provide few calories. So, for a refreshing and filling snack, cucumbers are a great idea. My favorite cucumber snack is cucumbers dipped in yogurt that's mixed with garlic and fresh mint or dill. People who live in hot climates like Louisiana are attracted to hot foods, and they commonly have great cucumber condiments like tzatziki and raita. If you like to eat highly seasoned foods, cucumbers can cool down your mouth and get it ready for the next spicy bite.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America and your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke. I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke fast.
Ballerina.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
Nectarines are grown in warmer, temperate climates. Nectarines are a genetic variant of common peaches, and as such, nectarine and peach trees are virtually indistinguishable. As smooth-skinned peaches, nectarines are considered an interesting phenomenon in horticulture. Nectarines are a source of vitamins A and C. They're commonly eaten fresh or cooked in jams and pies. The peach was brought to the New World by Spanish explorers, and as early as 1600 was growing in Mexico. Thomas Jefferson had peach trees at Monticello. However, U.S. farmers did not begin commercial production until the 20th century. As with peaches, nectarines can be white or yellow and clingstone or freestone. On average, nectarines are slightly smaller and sweeter than peaches. Nectarines have been grown successfully in North Louisiana for a number of years. Fresh, locally grown peaches are available from mid-April through mid-August in South Louisiana and mid-May through mid-September in North Louisiana. Peak season in the Pelican State is from June 15th to July 15th, so be sure to pick up Louisiana-grown nectarines then from your local reseller.
All right, folks, we're back and we have a spread here. So first off, I have some bread pudding that we had in the oven. This is our nectarine bread pudding. Then we made the omelet that's going to be topped off with some of the salsa. And to finish everything off, we have some biscuits that's going to be topped off with our nectarine sauce. So, and when I say finish everything off, but you can have this for breakfast, it can be for dinner with some ice cream. So it really just does not matter. So you want to go ahead and top off your eggs. And I'm going to put a biscuit here. I'm going to take a little bit of my...
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm the lefty here. I'm sorry. Look at that. I need another nectarine on there. That looks good.
You got to save some for the bread pudding.
Yes, I'm going to pour some of the bread pudding. We'll have a little bit to go right down the middle because we have a nice bit of it on the bottom. Put that back here.
No, that is nice.
You did that like a pro.
I did.
I like that.
After
yes.
Quite a few hours of training.
Okay, sounds good. Now let's grab some of our bread over here.
Okay.
Our flatbread here. You can get that. And we are all set. Look at this here. You can top this off. Let me finish putting a little more decoration on there. That is a little cilantro that I just put on there. I'm going to add a little more. Now the bread pudding. I want some flatbread. I'm going to get some fresh nectarines and top that off right here.
There you go.
Put a little bit right here. There you go. So you just want to decorate your plates. Play with your food. Make it look nice and pretty. Why not? You've done all this work to go into it. So just make it look nice and beautiful.
And the kids like color.
Yes,
like
the kids like a lot of color.
Flavors.
This one here, you can just roll up and you can dip into that nice yogurt sauce. Grab the yogurt sauce over there. Dip it, done, ready to go. My mouth is watering already because this is the type of stuff that I like to eat. Look at that. Dip and eat. So I'll hold. You eat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nice and simple.
Nectarines are effectively peaches without the fuzz. You'll find both peaches and nectarines growing across Louisiana at farms like Yakubowski's in Union Parish.
We're in North Louisiana, in Union Parish, about 7 miles south of Farmerville, 15 miles, I guess it'd be north of Ruston. We've been in business about 18 years now. We're raising 30 acres of peaches and a few plums, nectarines, apples.
Anthony and his wife have been growing peaches and nectarines in North Louisiana for more than 10 years.
We've got some really neat varieties. We've got one behind us here, the Mayfire, that actually comes off about the third week in May to get the season started early. This is our second variety of nectarines that we have in the orchard. They're about a week from being ready. As you can see, some of these are starting to get a little color. The color usually comes from what side of the fruit, if not all the fruit, gets sunlight, which, as you can tell, this one right here is at some part of the day is getting most of the sun on one side, which is very red, and the other one is green in a sense. Every nectarine has its own little flavor. There's one that it's actually the third one that comes out. It's called a Arrington nectarine. is my favorite. But yes, every one of them has a distinct different flavor, and as do with peaches. The later in the season on peaches and nectarines, historically they get a little more acidy, which adds to the old-time flavor that a lot of people are looking for.
Nectarines grow on trees and can take some time to bear their first crop.
You'll plant the peaches, nectarines in February, generally, whenever they're in their highest peak of dormancy. And it takes 2 to 3 good years of growing to start to produce, 3 to 4 to really do some good. In a commercial production, you'll get about 12 to 18 years. Some of the trees have lasted 30 years. So you just decline in your premium or production of your fruit. The first ones that we have come off at about the third week in May, and about every 2 weeks until July. And you know, that differs depending on the amount of frost and when springtime hit us that year. You know, it could differ a week or two, give or take.
Fresh, locally grown nectarines are available at your local farmer's market, roadside stand, specialty grocer, and at Pick Your Own orchards across Louisiana throughout the summer.
So for our audience, go to cookinguplouisianatreasures.com and you can look to see on what channel, what station,
That's
where
right.
you can find the program.
Right, and then we hope you try some of these wonderful recipes, and I know a lot of you will, so just vary it up. Use our fresh Louisiana cucumbers and nectarines, and while you're there watching, take our survey. That's very important because we want to know your thoughts. So take the survey, and where are they going to find us again?
They're going to find us at cookinguplouisianatreasures.com.
Right.
You've been watching Cooking Up Louisiana Treasures. Watch more clips from the show online at cookinguplouisianatreasures.com. While you're there, take our quick survey and tell us how you use Louisiana Specialty Crops. It's all at cookinguplouisianatreasures.com. See you next time.